Do you feel like there's like a particular food or maybe like micronutrient that affects kind of how your brain functions as far as, being alert, being awake, being ready to like put your full effort forth? My kind of emphasis lately and for a lot of the podcasts is like the mind body connection. So
Right.
clearly food has an effect on both of those things. So I'm kind of curious if you think there's, again, I asked for a silver bullet, but it's always more complicated than that.
Right.
What do you think affects kind of your mental state?
Well, your brain runs on carbohydrates, which a lot of people don't know that. And so that's why keto is so popular right now, where you're really starving your brain of fuel and of
Hmm.
carbs. And so having those quality carbs and making sure they're spread out throughout the day. So just like I work with diabetics and we teach them to vary their carbohydrates throughout the day to keep their insulin level stable. And really, I would say anyone needs to follow that of kind of space out your carbs just so you're feeling alert and awake all day. Saying that, there also is a lot of research with the gut and how that ties to your brain as well. So keeping your gut healthy with fermented foods, kefir, probiotics, um, all of that is definitely ties into your overall health, especially mind and brain.
I had like three questions. I gotta try to get these all like down in my head. That's okay. So thinking about like gut flora, gut bacteria, I actually
Mm.
read something the other day along the lines of immigrants to the U.S. It's like I can't remember the number, but it was the short version was that the gut bacteria that they had prior to entering the U.S. And then post being here for several years was drastically different. Like it seemed like their gut bacteria essentially gets nuked being in
Right.
the U.S.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that? Do you have a guess what would be happening, why that happens?
I don't know about that specific topic, but I would say just because they're probably used to eating whole foods, raw foods, and then we just have a lot of processed things, which, in my opinion, contributes a lot to our decreased gut. I know sugar uh, doesn't do our guts much health, so just more whole foods is probably the thing there.
Okay. A minute ago, you had mentioned, that your brain runs on carbs. You need good carbs. Um, so are you telling me that I need to like go out and get a donut in the middle of the day, or like what should I be eating?
Um, Anything whole grains, even fruit is a carbohydrate. And it's not like you need to eat a sandwich every 15 minutes, but
Mhm.
just spacing it out to where there's, maybe 15 to 30 grams at breakfast and the same at lunch and the same at dinner. And anything with whole grains, anything with fiber is going to be your best bet for that carbohydrates.
Okay. Okay. Seems fairly straightforward. Um, so, you know, you're a dietitian, which means you can, strictly speaking, work with anybody. But is there a preference if you just got to pick one type of niche or person? Is there somebody you like working with more than somebody else?
Honestly, anybody that's motivated is my favorite
Hmm.
because you do have people coming in with their feet dragging, which is not fun. And then it's more of the psychology part and the just getting them to have motivation to change. Where I want to talk about food and nutrition and that fun stuff. So anybody that's really motivated and excited to make a change, which I do see a lot with athletes, just because I feel like we're naturally more motivated than the normal population. So yeah, anybody that's ready to put the work in and excited about it.
Do you feel like those clients that are motivated, does that motivation taper off, or does it kind of stay with them as time goes on?
I think it's kind of human nature to lose motivation if you're not seeing results. So as
Hmm.
long as they're seeing results, usually they're still motivated. I mean, it's pretty typical that you'll see a plateau at some point, or you'll see your race results are similar or something. So it's hard to keep that motivation up, but again, just remembering your why, remembering your goals, usually helps keep them on track.
So that, this is something I think about from time to time, and I refer to it as a bag of whys. I'm actually going to do a video on this later, but you're coming back to remembering your why.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it as a whole series of whys, because one why, at least for me, isn't enough. Maybe I want to be, state champion, but I really feel terrible today, and I don't care about that. But maybe I care about something else.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious, like, what was your whys? I mean, you were seemingly a good swimmer, growing up, and
Mm-hmm.
then you changed to running. You're burnt out of swimming, changed to running. Like, what was your motivation, I guess, and how did you get through high school and 4 years of Division One?
I think with running, my favorite part is that it's individual and a team. And so
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of individual goals, time goals or place goals, or standard goals that I wanted to meet. And so that was a lot of motivation. But anytime that tapered or it wasn't holding out for me, you also had team goals. So just doing the best you can for your team that day, showing up to
Mm-hmm.
practice for your teammates, which makes it a lot easier when other people are involved.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say just my own personal goals and keeping the team goals high.
So now that I'm assuming that you're not part of a team anymore. Okay, so how do you stay motivated now that college is over and it's as you can tell, my light's on here because it's getting dark already and it's only
Yeah.
5:30. You're
Yeah.
across the state, um, so I know it's probably getting dark where you are as well.
Yeah.
It's dark, it's cold, it's windy. How do you stay motivated to deal with that when you don't have that accountability with a team and for all intents and purposes, your times don't really matter even, you know,
Right.
to anybody besides you now. Like, how,
Nobody
how do you
cares.
stay up
Yeah.
with it? Yeah.
um, I I think it's still pretty new to me, so my motivation is still high at this point, just
Hmm.
because post college I switched to marathon, so that was something new, and I've done 3, and so I still have a lot to learn and a lot more goals I want to accomplish, and then triathlon I started completely new post college, so it's still kind of like exciting and new and fun,
Hmm.
the motivation is definitely still there. But yeah, days like today and the winter season are hard. But just remembering that I still have my own goals to accomplish, and
Hmm.
it kind of has turned from a sport to a hobby, and so it's become just more fun as well.
So, if you don't mind, are there what specific goals do you have right now? I know, um, was it was it November you ran your marathon, the last marathon, or was it earlier
Yep.
than that?
Yeah,
And
November.
you PR'd there, correct?
Yep.
So what's on the docket right now? Like, what are you chasing at the moment?
Um, I'm hoping to break 3 hours in the marathon in 2019. So at my next marathon, that's definitely my big goal.
Where were
And
you
then
where were you time wise this last November?
3:02. So just
Okay.
missed it. So I'm
Right.
close, but just still chasing that. And then a bucket list is just to complete a full Ironman. So I've done a half, but a full Ironman's definitely on the list.
No big deal for Kona, just any Ironman will do.
I don't know. The half was quite a feat. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll do any of them for now.
Do you have any scoped out? I know some people will say, I want a really flat one, or like
Yeah,
I want to go, like I'm gonna use it as, because they are somewhat costly, both the race
right,
fee and the
definitely.
travel and
Hmm.
getting all your stuff there. Is there a race you picked out? Like, oh, I'm gonna go to Florida, or I'm gonna go to Cos.
I've heard nothing but good things about Ironman Arizona, and
Okay.
so my best friend lives there, so I've been definitely thinking about that one. But there's been a couple in the Midwest, like Wisconsin or
Hmm.
Oklahoma, that I've seen good reviews on. I'm definitely on the fast and flat category of wanting to race. So But yeah, and it's one of those things where I might only do it once, so I'm okay to travel or go big with it.
I haven't looked at the Arizona course, but that might staying with a friend is always good because then you've
Yeah.
got backup. If your
Yeah.
husband can't come to
Right.
the race, then you've got somebody there
Somebody help
who's
me
gonna
out. Yeah.
who's gonna cheer you on every 2 hours or whatever when they
Right.
when you pass by.
Right.
Um, you might look at Texas. I've been down for the 70.3 there. It's the same course
Okay.
next to the coastline for the bike course all the way through. The
Cool.
run super flat. Well, not super flat, but pretty
Flat
much
enough.
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you've run way, way hillier courses that people called flat in
Yeah.
college. So,
Yeah. The run doesn't scare me. It's just the bike that that I would like to be flat and easy.
are you still riding a mountain bike or like,
I have a road bike. I
okay,
do.
first
But
step, baby steps?
yes. I have a trainer. I've got the whole setup, but still not, I would not say I'm a biker by any means.
How long have you been doing triathlon now?
I guess 2 years maybe.
Okay, so your
But
ceiling's still
definitely,
probably pretty high.
oh yeah, and definitely not anywhere serious. I've been pretty committed to marathons, so the
Hmm.
triathlon's just kind of a fun
It's like
extra. So maybe
cross
one day
training.
that'll be, yeah, maybe one day it'll be the main focus. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement.
It's maybe I'll get your opinion on this as kind of newer to the sport. So I've been in triathlon, I think 10 years now. Um, so it's hard for me to see the differences. I know when I came to triathlon, it was like a very friendly, warm community, and I know cross country's always been kind of similar, but it seemed like even more upbeat coming into triathlon. Like,
Yeah.
have you had that kind of experience, or like what kind of experience have you had coming to the races that you've done so far?
For sure. I would say triathletes are very intimidating. I think just the gear and the works make it really intimidating. But yeah, definitely everyone's so nice. I think just endurance athletes in general are just really nice and welcoming and helpful. I've joined our local tri team
Hmm.
and the same. Everyone's just willing to help, willing to teach you, and just happy to be there. So.
Hmm. It almost seems like to me it's like, well, we're all going to suffer together and we're all doing
Yes.
it, so we might as well be
Yes.
happy beforehand.
Yep, and be friends.
Right. Um, so one last question for you, and I seem to be asking this to everybody, but it's more pertinent for you. If you only get to eat one thing for recovery for the rest of your life, what do you choose?
Mm, I'm really tempted to say pizza just because I love pizza.
That's not very dietitian of you. Like
No,
I
it's
feel like
not. I'm a bad dietitian.
you got to come up with a better answer than that.
I would probably say like Greek yogurt with any kind of mixings. I think that's something that just always sounds good after a workout. Um, so not super exciting, but sometimes you work out and food just doesn't sound good.
Right.
But Greek yogurt just always does. So usually yogurt and like some nuts and berries and stuff is always my go-to.
If I remember right, that's what the peanut butter recovery mousse is based off of Greek yogurt. Or
Yeah.
am I off on that?
I can't remember if it was Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. One of
Oh,
them
it was
was.
cottage cheese. You're
Cottage
right.
cheese, yeah. Okay.
I
That
do
was
know
my
thinking
weird
about it.
combination.
So that's
Yeah.
that's a recipe you can check out if you guys are interested. It's on the blog soulproof.com/blog. Gloria, if somebody wants to get in touch with you and wants to work with you personally, how do they find you?
Probably Instagram would be the easiest one. I'm just runner.rd. And yeah, happy to talk.
Super easy. Thanks for coming on today, Gloria.
Thank you.